Blessings and welcome, my sisters and brothers, to the Law of One, conscious channeling of LL Research. Teachings of love and light of our one infinite creator. I am Robert, humble messenger of the Law of One, and it is my pleasure to share this information with you. True worshipful living is a high-risk occupation. I would say true worshipful living is a high-risk occupation. It is not a loop into the light, but rather a loop into darkness. The illusion creates an emotional, mental, and spiritual twilight in which ideals, the purification of emotions from attachments, and the mindfulness of continuing awareness of the worship bloom in the darkness of blind faith. That is, the true worship is worship of a mystery. Wonder, a greater and greater subjective feeling of being held firmly by that which is not illusion, although one cannot understand it, so that the entity rests at last in a completely subjective and subjectively truthful journey. In this regard, worship may be seen as motion of a metaphysical kind rather than a physical kind. We ask each of you in all earnestness, when each of you first said, I commit myself to a life of service in this particular way. Was there some special, permanent, unusual commitment, a commitment that took you from your humanity and made you into some entity with no capacity to do anything but keep that commitment? We ask you to look at this question very carefully. Can you not see, my friends, the absolute dedication of yourselves at that moment to the task of a lifetime, but the absolute ignorance in that moment of dedication of what sacrifices would have to be made to create a common path of service? The soul is an alien in the world, without name or number. A conspiracy is afoot. Souls gathering in the wings of tomorrow, meeting in the invisible college, snatched up by UFOs, returned to from a fifth column, the trunk of a new tree rising up in the center of the world, the cosmic serpent uncoiling, a story in the secret book of life. Our wanderers' mindset tend to be alienated whether we are Earth natives or extraterrestrials. And this very awkwardness and athwartness is our great gift to the world. We are much harder to hypnotize. As we awaken to our spiritual identities as citizens of eternity, we begin to pull away from the details of the tangle of anger and territory, power and influence that reigns in the nations of earth. And we begin to see into the energies of chaos and darkness behind each firing gun, each prison cell stopped against an innocent each child starving because of policy, we begin to see that there is indeed a dragon of negativity. It is lashing its tail here in Earth's third density, and sometimes the energy of negativity is so intense. It is easy to believe that the dark is winning. Then we must stop upon our weary journey and rest. As the seeker gazes down at the dusty road, at the dust that lies upon their feet and covers their sandals, one may well doubt that road, and doubt the security and the promise of the journey of seeking. The staff which is intended to aid may become heavy, and even those few belongings which the seeker has to carry with them begin to seem a great burden. And so the seeker sometimes removes themselves from the dusty path which seems to go on forever. The seeker moves into a beautiful valley, well watered and forested with pastures where spring the small animals and where the sweet flowers bloom. It is good for the seeker to rest in such a beautiful meadow and smell the beautiful scent of flowers. And to rest beneath the nurturing and sturdy trunk of a tree. Because you see, my friends, to go upon the journey is to become terribly vulnerable. It is to risk all for no obvious reward. For as you seek, so you shall be sought. As you polarize more and more towards the light, so your dedication to that light shall be challenged. The toll the journey takes upon the seeker is never the same from one seeker to another. And when the burden becomes too heavy, it is good that the individual seeker choose their own pasture and measure of their own time of recovery. We ask you to look at these days not with trepidation and not with fear, but with enormous compassion. There will be, regardless of future events, great grieving and suffering among all peoples. We do not know what will occur in the future. It is always in the hands of free entities to choose the destiny of a people. Some of these free entities are imprisoned within their minds by concepts neither positive nor negative. This is a great confusion upon the mundane level. We ask you to move beyond it and to be a portion of the ceaseless cry of prayer and supplication that rises so beautifully, so deeply, so richly at this time from your planetary surface, rises to the Infinite One in glory and beauty. Know that your prayers are heard. Know that you are not forgotten. As any approaches a personal or service-oriented cusp of decision, it is well to know that one has the requisite passion to accomplish what shall be, and the courage to see it through. But then one may step back and ask the self to pause, so that the spirits may go into the inner room and take all adornments off, all the things of the world, all the trappings of circumstance, all the aura of success, of renown, of reputation, and of desire itself. Lay it to one side and become of a quiet mind and a quiet heart, and say, "Here am I. What would you have me do? What is the highest and best that I may achieve and remain a stable person? What would you have me do?" A few moments spent in this tabernacle asking this simple query aid one enormously in fitting into the regalia of life circumstances, girded within with a promise to do that which has been desired in the highest way. One may then don the garments of reputation and success and be unswayed and unimpressed by the patter and the tap dancing that all of us are capable of achieving in one way or another. What would you have me do? It is the question asked in the Bible by Jesus when he was hoping not to go to Jerusalem and lose his life. It was the response of Samuel when he finally realized his deity was calling him, and not his teacher, Eli. "Speak, Lord," he said, "for your servant listens." Change slightly to, "What would you have me say?" It is the question with which most channels approach contact with higher sources. Give support in any way that is necessary to your own channels. And know also that ye are channels. Do not depend upon them alone, for in that day which now approaches, the day of the great telling, it is necessary that you are all channels, in one way or another, and this is not by accident. You have chosen yourselves for this particular mission at this particular time. Approach the moment with the resonance of eternity within your consciousness, so that the mundane and grimy world cannot touch the light being that you are, nor can it touch your ability to act as a channel for love and light. Oh, to have the faith that you, to whom we speak now, have. What a blessing you have, for to you all that is essential is shrouded in mystery. For to you all that is essential is shrouded in mystery. Only through faith do you understand that you are a spiritual being. Only through faith do you seek the truth, and only through faith can you come alive and burn with an unquenchable flame. It is within you. It is within your will and your power. It is not within ours. We refine. But you, my friends, you are mining. You are mining for your own precious heart. We wish you the right use of intellect, will, and faith as you search and dig and search again for the heart that lies beautiful and secret within you in the midst of this disheveled world, which is third density. In your own work, feel the affinity that your own heart might have with all your brothers and sisters throughout all space. I speak now of love that is not physical, although on this planet, love is always relegated to a physical expression or experience. I speak of love that is not even essentially mental, or a love of brotherhood which transcends female-male love. I speak even of a love that goes beyond the love of Christ. We are all one, beloved ones. And to love others is only to love yourself. When you meet men and women in your daily activities, each and every one, no matter what type they may be, look at them as part of the Creator. Try to love each other with a love that is beyond that which is comprehended upon the earth. The voice that calls out from all space and all inhabited planets is a voice of love. If man on earth could only see and could only hear, but what is more, if he could only understand, love one another, beloved ones, for this alone is enough. Prepare yourselves now for that time which is so close that you could reach out and touch it. For, beloved ones, the kingdom is not at hand. The kingdom is here.